Hello everyone, Lord Dark 84 here, bringing you another episode of Satisfactory. Now in the previous episode, we added an additional production line here for screws and iron plates. We also did some work, concrete, and also added in a bit more to our power infrastructure. And on the right side here is today's objectives. I want to unlock some milestones using the MAM and unlock overclocking. I want to redo these lines, kind of orient them facing all this way. And I also want to see if we have time to automate some reinforced iron plates. Start things off. Jump down here. I missed the ladder. So, what I want to do, run over to the terminal. So we need to unlock field research, which is 300 wire, 300 screws, and 100 iron plates. I also want to unlock part assembly, so we can make the iron or reinforced iron plates. I think it's 200 cable, 100 iron rods, 500 screws, and 300 plates. The Resource Sync program, and Logistics Mark II. So, we'll go here. 50 reinforced iron plates, 200 concrete, 300 iron plates, and 300 rods. And let's see. Do we have enough for both of these? Do. So we'll also be getting obstacle clearing and resource sync in this episode. So we'll select this one. 400 concrete, 500 wire, 200 rods, and 200 iron plates. Gonna do, come here to obstacle clearing, 500 screws, 100 cable, 100 concrete. And now, they're pressing buttons.
Milestone.
Alright.
Access to the anti-waste effort for stress testing of materials on
So what
Milestone
happened?
reached. Improved versions of conveyor
ran out of
belts and
fuel.
Conveyor lifts are now accessible. To encourage additional verticality, conveyor poles now have a stackable variant.
So in between episodes, I just went around and gathered up some more biomass. Just to save the tedious process of having to run back and forth. So turn that back. Turn that back on for the moment. Now what I want to do, we want to get our hog remains and our power slugs. At least for the time being. And then we're going to go to special. MAM. Place it down. What we need, or what we're going to do, we're going to research some of these. The hog research takes 3 seconds. So does the spitter. Or just about everything takes 3 seconds. There we go. Then we're going to go to power slugs. This is the important thing for today. So we're going to give it one of our blue slugs, which unlocks power shards. We're going to take our second one here, turn this slug power shard, and that's going to allow us to overclock our different machines. So we'll go power slugs, unlock overclocking. You do have to sacrifice a few slugs. You have to sacrifice one blue, one yellow, purple one, and a power shard in order to unlock all these. So, now that we have that done, let's just go here. So, milestones are done. And so is overclocking. We have both of those unlocked. Now, I will get back and explain all the other things that we unlocked there when they come relevant. I'll do a quick rundown on them. Obstacle clearing gives us a chainsaw, which allows us to take down full-size trees and to clear a bigger area at once. The resource sink is essentially a way of getting customizable objects. We can get conveyor lifts, etc. This is just a higher quality of our current conveyor belts. And the part assembly gives us the assembler, which we need to make reinforced iron plates, modular frames, and rotors. And it gives us the ability to make smart plating, which we'll need to make the space elevator get to phase 1. And the last thing was field research, which unlocks the map and the MAM. So, pressing M, we have our map. Not too much to it at the moment. We're going to be doing, we're going to be taking all the nodes right here. So, these ones here. We're going to make them 100% efficient. And then up on there, we're going to do the same with our copper. And we're going to do the same with our limestone. What we're actually going to do, we're going to do the limestone first because it's the easiest. As you can see here, we're only running at about 60% efficiency. So we're only ever making 10 per minute. So we're kind of just wasting power here. And we're just sitting idle for too long. So what you can do, you can either set this to be, I think it was about 67%. Not quite. Well, you can also just ignore the clock speed, come down to target production, put in what it is you want to be creating per minute. Then it'll just fill in numbers here for you automatically. So that should... Did I mess it up? I might mess it up by screwing up numbers here. So we're just gonna go here. This was not one of the 18 constructors we needed this episode. It's just a matter of me accidentally messing it up. Concrete, and we're going to select this to be 10 per minute. There we are. Now it's working. And we'll do the same with this one over here. What we're going to do is we're going to probably, if needed, don't think it will be actually, should have enough space. This line here will become rods and screws. This one will remain plates. That one will remain plates. That up there will begin producing cable atop of the wire. Pods back. That's what I want to get done by the end of today's episode. And if we have time, there might be a few other things out we'll try and get done. Go here. Make it 10 per minute. This is now also going to be running at 100% efficiency, which means so will that miner, and so will the other miner. Means what we're aiming for at the end of this episode is to get these lines be perfectly straight. As you see, the black line here is up and down all over. I want to try and get it to be perfectly flat. In order to do that, we're going to have to start reconstructing all of this. So for the iron plates, as we can see, we have our miner on top of our iron node, and it has an output of 60 iron per minute, which is then being split into 2 smelters, each of them taking 30 per minute, and they're also outputting 30 iron ingots per minute, which are then going into a constructor, that for iron plates, it outputs them at 20 per minute. They're then merged together into a 40, and then stored away in a storage box. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get rid of this entire production chain. What we're going to need are splitters and mergers. So what I'm going to do is just hover over them. We're going to hover over the merger, press 4. And as you can see, it got added to my hotbar. I'm going to do same with the splitter, making it 5. And press 5. I'm going to hit control to line it up with that. There. Alright, so now that we have our splitter and our miner, what we need to do, I'm going to take furnace, I'm going to put it, say, right, actually what I'll do, pressing H lets you lock it, kind of move around. And a new feature of the update 8 is you can now nudge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to nudge it over by 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right, I think it's 4 that I want to go by. Yeah, 4. And then place that one down. Then we're going to go here, place another one down. Kind of. That one. That's not going to be perfectly in line, as I'm not putting it on foundations yet. That's why I got some basic stuff done. That way we can actually start building up proper factory. So we'll plop that in there. And just as we go, we're going to begin filling these out. So these both will be producing iron ingots. Then, fortunately, that's in the way. What I'm going to do. Oops, I just realized I got rid of the miner back there. That's fine. We'll be replacing it anyways. So, to continue on with this line, need a constructor, put it there, another one there, and these two are going to be making iron plates, taking 30 iron ingots per minute and outputting 20 iron plates per minute. So, set that there. Run around to the back, connect them all up. And now for the last part of this line is to take a merger. Go right there. So the last part for this line, as you saw in the diagram, if I remember to put it up, will be container of all these running into it. Now this is our new iron plate line, and it'll be running them at 100% efficiency. Means we aren't wasting power. So this here is our new iron plate line. As you can see, it is all going to be running at the perfect efficiency rate. Everything is being split up evenly. This would be considered load balancing. We'll get more into those technical details in a future episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this and put it on that line there. Alright, so I've gone ahead, I've built other iron plate line. I think it's going to be best if I put it right there on that side. We have enough space to do our rods and screws right down the middle here. Hopefully, things will work out. So what we're going to do, we're going to start doing so as you can see, I've already put down the miner, the splitter, and the 2 smelters here. Those parts stay the same for all of them. Alright, to make things simpler for this one, we are going to just follow one path at a time. So from the miner, it is split into 2 lines, and on the top line, it goes into a smelter, which then outputs 30 iron ingots, and those 30 iron ingots are split into 2 lines of 15, which then go into their individual constructor, which is making iron rods, outputs 15 rods per minute, which is then merged together onto a 30 line, and those are put into storage. Going back to the lower line, it is the same process all the way up until outputs of our iron rods, which are merged together into a 30, but then immediately split into 3 lines of 10 per minute, which are then going into their own individual constructors, which are making screws, and they're outputting 40 per minute, then all going to their own individual storage box. Alright, so in order to start this, need to do this there, 2, 3, 4. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to realign this. It's going to look a little messy, but I'm fine with that, as I'm not setting them up on stations quite yet. We're going to go here. Stop lining up with you. I want to line up with... There we are. Then we'll put this back down. Hopefully I've given it enough space. Put a splitter in there. Oh no. Okay. Let's see. Go there. Just a matter of whether or not I can connect. Alright. So I'll push these forward just a tiny bit. One there. One there. Connected into that one. Connected into that one. Now these will also be making iron. And these 4 constructors here are all going to be making... Let's just go there. Are all going to be making rods. What we can do is we can just throw power, or not power, throw a line into them like so. That line there. That one. And this one to that one. To explain things quickly. So we're having 30 ingots come out on this line. And what splitters do, depending on how many outputs you have, so say we had 3 outputs, it would split that 30 evenly among all 3 lines, being 10, 10, and 10. But since we only have 2, it's going to split that 30 in half, sending 15 there, 15 to this one here. So it's going to go here, copy, paste the settings to all of these. There we are. Now, what I want to do is I'm actually going to put the rod output right here. Reason for that is just to try and keep things a little less messy. So we're going to throw it there. I mean, that's an invalid shape. Okay, try that again. Right, these ones all go in their own storage container. So that is our new rod line there. Now what we're going to do, we're going to do a similar thing with these. However, instead of going to a container, we're actually going to go into another set of constructors. What I'm going to do, take that. When you're holding a merge, you can press E and change it into a splitter. Connect these up here. So now our 2 lines of 15 rods are merging together here into 1 line of 30, which is then going to be split into 3 lines of 10. There. There. So 1, 2, and 3. Now from 15 and 15 into a 30, Going from a 30 into a 10, a 10, and a 10. Take our screws and set them all to screws. And now what I want to do, each of these screw lines is going to be producing 40 screws per minute. What we could do is we could just set it up. We have, let's see here, say a splitter here, and then a merger right here, and a merger right here. And we could just have 2 storage containers. I'm thinking I might want 3. Yeah, I'm going to want 3 containers for screw, just because they fill up pretty quick. So what we're going to do, in front of that one, is that. In front of this one, place that one, and this one here, in the way of a tree. But we can get rid of that now that we have the chainsaw. And there we go. That, now our screws and rods fully automated. Alright, so we now have our 2 iron plate lines running at 100% efficiency. I haven't turned on the other half here, but we also have our iron rods coming from these 2 constructors here at 30 per minute, going into this storage container. Then we have these rods going into these 3 constructors to make screws, each at 40 per minute. Alright, and so for the copper wire and cable line, as we can see, we have our copper miner with an output of 60 copper ore per minute, then being split into 2 lines of 30, each of them going into their own smelter. And then just to follow one along, from the smelter, it is then split into 2 lines of 15 into their own individual constructors, which are making wire at 30 per minute. On the top chain there, you can see that 2 lines are actually merged together into a 60 and then put into a storage box for our own personal use. And on the lower chain there, you can see that they're merged into a 60 line, put through another constructor, which is set to make cable, and then that is being put into a storage box. That is the entire line for our new copper wire cable. So I'm just going to go and connect all of these new lines up to power. You will need actually turn on another one of those generators down there. But then that is our lines redone. We won't need to expand power, so we can put an X on that. Not sure, but I don't think we'll have time to do the reinforced iron plates. So that'll be the first thing that we tackle in the next episode. So I'm just going to cut these all up and show you all the finished product. Alright, just to finish off today's episode, I just wanted to show you all everything now working, except for that iron plate line. It looks like I must have forgotten to give them recipes, but it's the exact same as this one, so it should work. Then over there we have our now 100% automatic, not automatic, 100% efficient concrete farm production line. Over on this side we have the same, and off in the distance there you can actually see our copper wire, our copper lines going. See all the wire going in. Nope, up. Oh, you can't quite see it, but there should be cable coming out of there. Go. That is everything 100% efficient. We're making Fix-It proud. So, if you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe while you're down there. And of course, if you have any feedback on how I do these episodes, I'll be more than happy to hear them. always looking for ways to improve my content. See you all in the next one.